Welcome to the set of Let's Talk Women in Basketball. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty, and today we are joined by the, the founder of the first ever women's basketball league, Lightning Mitchell. Hi, Mr. Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem, Jenna. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Thank the Lord. I'm doing great too.
That's awesome. Growing up, you always dreamed of playing professional football. However, God had other visions for you, another vision for you. Could you elaborate on the vision that God gave you?
Yeah, God gave me a vision just to create a women's professional basketball league. And when He gave me that vision, yeah, I had some issues with it because, like you said, I was pursuing, football. I wanted to play in the National Football League. That was my dream. Yes.
Yes. So, how did you get the Women's Basketball Association started?
Well, back in 1993, when God gave me this vision, I struggled with it for weeks, but God kept doing things to show me this is what He wanted me to do. This is what I was supposed to, this is why Lightning Mitchell was created, to create this league. And as God kept doing these things, it made sense because I got to thinking, why would this happen if it wasn't meant for me to do? And why everything that you thought that should have went wrong went right. You know what I'm saying? And everything that you thought that wasn't gonna work, it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So everything that I'd done towards making that leg possible and come about, God made sure it worked. You know, so
Yeah.
so we started developing the leg back in 1993. I think I was in Wisconsin, up in Janesville, Wisconsin, and we held our first tryout for those women at the Milwaukee Bucks facilities up in Milwaukee,
Oh,
Wisconsin.
wow.
And it was just a great turnout. I had sent out 136 letters to major university. I sent out, I remember Pat Summit, the coach used to be down in Tennessee. The late Pat Summit was a great coach. Vivian Strang up at University of Iowa. I sent out the coach down at Louisiana Tech. I know Iowa University, Arizona State, all these coaches. I sent out 136 letters to major universities telling these girls we were going to have this trial for women to be able to play professional basketball here at home in the United States without having to go overseas anymore. You know, and,
Yeah.
and the response was really awesome. And when we had this trial, it turned out so great. It was just, I thought, okay, we got the girls now. What do we do now, Lord? And the Lord helped me lay these plans out, everything that step by step, what I'm supposed to
Wow.
do. So
Yeah.
we took 22 girls. We picked out 12 states, and we went on tour to see what type of response we would get for these girls. And the
Mm-hmm.
response was, it was great, but it wasn't what I expected. So I was thinking, this ain't gonna work. I got kind of scared because a lot of money was lost during this tour. you know.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, but then the Lord did something else. When I wanted to quit, I think at this moment after that tour, but I think I don't know how much money we had spent on that tour. I was thinking I was going to quit because I didn't want to involve no more money because we didn't
Yeah.
have no money to involve. So
Yeah.
then all of a sudden I get this phone call from Women's Sports and Fitness magazine. They wanted to do a story about this new women's pro league, and it got me fired up again. So then Kansas City Star wanted to do a story about it. So we start putting together how we start this first league, this first real year for the women to be able to play professional basketball here in 1993. So in 93, we went with 16. So I picked this cities that was close to me and close in an area where we wouldn't have to have so much expense traveling, like Kansas City, like St. Louis, like Chicago, Memphis, Tennessee, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Iowa. I picked those cities, that was close and we started that first season, and these is NCAA Division One ball players. These are girls that's coming out of college, ready to go and do their career, what they've been trained to do.
Yeah.
They put this on hold. These ladies put this on hold to help me make it possible for women to play professional basketball here in the United States. And you know, the only way I know, that's another way I know God was there, because what ladies would say, hey, you saying you're professional, they're looking for big dollars. You know what I'm saying? What are we
Yeah.
getting paid? Well, this was the less worry that I had with these girls. These NCAA Division One players,
Wow.
and then they looking to fly out. They coming out of college, flying out on TWAs and living at the Holiday Inn. Now I'm talking about going on a 15 passenger band with me to play women's professional basketball instead of Motel 6. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about eating at, Ryan Steakhouse or something. I'm talking about going to McDonald's.
Yeah.
These girls gave up everything to make
To
this
play.
happen. So people don't understand what was put in for these women to be able to play professional basketball here in the United States today. These girls with me gave it all up. So now we have a WNBA.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And you mentioned in the beginning that you held your tryouts at the Milwaukee Bucks Stadium. That's an accomplishment in itself because not too many people can rent out a stadium.
I know.
How did you get that?
That's a mind blower. Because see, when I got all excited about this thing, and I thought, okay, God, this can work. I'm on board. Count me, and and I had just I was playing minor league football at that time up in Wisconsin. I was working with a team that hoping to get a try with the Green Bay Packers one day. So I'm playing with this team, and the team, all the people in the area kind of know me from football, and they had built this brand new YMCA in this area, So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, okay, I'm on board with God now. I'm ready to do this women thing, And God said, okay, we got our letters sent out to these major universities and everything. Okay, now where are we gonna host this trial? I said, don't worry about it, God. Like I got this. So I'm gonna hold it. I wanted to hold it at the YMCA because it's a brand new building, beautiful, and I know I could get it cheap.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden, this feeling come up on me, like, no, this is not the spot. And I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? This, I'm thinking, I'm like talking like somebody here with me. What do you mean this is not the spot? I can get this. This is gonna cause me nothing. This is not where this feeling like this is not where he want me to hold it. And I'm like, but what do I supposed to hold it at? And on the TV, here's this commercial about the Bucks rookie camp coming up. I said, whoa, I can't get in this place. I ain't got no money. All these thoughts in my mind. I ain't got no money to get into this facility. God, this was it. So now I kind of got angry with God because I know I couldn't afford this one. This is how I felt. I couldn't afford to get into this facility. So the Lord said, "This is it." And okay, I'm thinking, okay, God, I call him tomorrow and I tell him I want to use that facility to hold this trial. And I'm just thinking, I'm thinking all this in my head. This is what I'm gonna do, Lord. I call him. So the next day I called Milwaukee, facility. And I said, hi, my name is Lightning Mitchell. And we're in the process of putting together women's professional basketball teams, and we like to hold one of our tries at your facility. And the lady says to me, she said, hold on a minute. Okay, I'm waiting her to come back on the phone, hang the phone up. Actually, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So, but the lady comes back on the phone. She said, "Well, okay, what dates are you thinking about?" I'm thinking already. Now, what did you mean? What dates? I'm thinking about. So I give her the dates. And now she said, "Let me check to make sure we don't have something going on because I know we hold our rookie camp. During that time of season. So I'm sitting there waiting on her to get back on the phone, and I'm thinking, man, what if she give me this thing? I ain't got no money. How am I gonna pay for this thing? All these thoughts are hitting my mind. So she gets back on the phone and the lady says to me, she said, sir, she said, we won't be able to accommodate you because we're holding our rookie camp this year, at that point and at that time. She says any other dates you want. I'm satisfied now because see, Lord, I told you we can get to YMCA. Now you wanted to come here, now we
Yeah.
can't get in here. So I'm thinking, no, ma'am. I said, no, no. I said, those are the dates I need. She said, we could probably get you another day. I said, no, no, we needed those, those days. So then all of a sudden, the lady said, hold on a minute, let me check one more thing. So she goes back and she's talking to somebody. Don't you know, as God is my witness, this woman come back on the phone and she says to me, you know what? You can have those days. They moved our rookie camp to Denver, Colorado this year.
Wow.
Just like that. And that just blows me away. I'm sitting there stunned. She said, do you want them, sir? I ain't saying that. I'm sitting there stunned. She said, sir, are you there? Do you want those dates? I said, oh yeah, ma'am, yes, I want those dates. Yes. So
Yeah.
now I'm thinking God's back up on me one, now I can get this percent. So now,
Yeah.
now the next thing come to my mind, what do I do to make this thing so ridiculous that I can't pay for it?
Yeah.
So the lady says to me, she said, do you want us to do anything to help you set this facility up for that camp? Like we do for our guys when they training. I said, oh yeah. I said, at first I said, is there any cost to that? And she said, yeah, there'll be some cost. Now she said, but we'll try to keep it minimum for you. I said, oh yeah, then I want you guys to help me because I want to get the cost up now. And
Yeah.
then and so said everything she asked me did I need. If it was a cost behind it, I told her, yeah, I needed it. She said, well, she said, do you want us to set it up like we do the Bucks when they train? I said, yes. I'm hearing that calculator going. She said, do you want water or do you want Gatorade? And I'm thinking, water don't cost them Gatorade. Yeah, give them. She said, Gatorade to be a little be expensive, but we can get you Gatorade. I said, give them Gatorade. This is our first time. She in the calculator. Did it. She said, do you want hot showers or cold shower? Oh, I said hot shower. I want them to have the best. The calculator just this calculator is going because I'm just trying to get this price so high that I can't afford it.
Yeah.
So she just hitting this thing. Then she finally says to me, she said, I think we got everything here that you're gonna need here. She said, do you want us to contact media? I said, yep, I want you guys to do just like you were doing it for the Bucks. And she said, okay. And I'm just hearing she said, are you ready for this? And I'm thinking, oh boy, probably about 10, 15,000. And I said, yeah, let me sit down here. And this lady, as God is my witness, she cut up the phone. She come back here and she said, we're gonna get you in there for $189 and I think 35 cents.
Wow.
That's what I had to pay to get in that facility. And right
That's
that moment,
unbelievable.
I know it was God. This thing was all about God, you
Yeah.
know. So, it was just one thing after nothing that he done for me, just like that, you
Yeah,
know.
this is living proof that we be thinking small, as Christians we be thinking
Exactly.
small, but God has like this big vision for us. So
Exactly.
thank you so much
Exactly.
for sharing that.
Right.
Um, did you ever try to reach out to the NBA commissioner at the time to see if
Well,
you guys could collaborate?
I did that in 1993. I reached out to David Stern, who was the commissioner at that point in time, because I know we was going to need more support in, traveling and paying
Yeah,
hotels and all this, and I know I didn't have the funds for that. I know the gate receipts wasn't going to be enough. So I reached out to David Stern and I offered, told him what I was trying to do. And the reason I reached out to David Stern because this is a women's pro league. Our women's are
yeah,
going overseas to other countries to play professional basketball. And then now I'm all for this. I'm thinking, why should they have to do that? Now, and for me, I'm doing something good. I'm serving instead of being served.
yeah,
So this all made sense, what God was telling me to do. So I reached out to David Stern. David Stern asked me to talk to, they had me to talk to Val Ackerman, who was the assistant commissioner under David Stern. Val liked the idea. Val had played overseas before, and I'm sure when I told Val about this, Val thought it was great for women too.
yeah,
And I think she was all in with the idea, but I think somewhere somewhere it got off course. I don't know. I guess when they saw what we had done, we had played 90 from 93 to 95. Liberty Sports had got involved with me to televise the All-Star game. And I had talked with a gentleman there at Liberty Sports, Lynn Geis, who had talked with, said he had spoke with David Stern, and they would like to make this thing a joint venture, but I had a couple of franchise that I had to sell because I was running low on money to do things. So I sold my Kansas City team, and I sold my St. Louis team, and they wanted me to get all the teams back and put them on so they got control. See what I'm saying? You
Yes.
can't have the owner saying this and that. And I understood that. So I went to my Kansas City owner. He decided he would sell a team back because he was going to receive so much percentage for that franchise, as long as we existed. But I had issues getting the team from St. Louis. And when I couldn't get the team from St. Louis back, Liberty ended up dropping out, and that so now I got no TV coverage, you know what I'm saying? And the NBA kind of went with, well, they had everything laid out because I had gave
Yeah.
them the whole game plan. Well, almost. I had gave them the whole game plan almost. They
Oh,
didn't know this though. So they went on with the same layout that I had to create a spring summer women's professional basketball league. That's what it had to be.
oh
That's
wow.
the only way it would work. God told
Yeah.
me it had to be spring summer.
Wow.
That was one of the key things. But there's one more key thing that they don't know about.
Oh,
and but they went on in 95 in 1996.
7.
They came out with their league and I had to shut down my league. And my goal was from that point was make known how women's professional basketball finally came to the United States and give my girls the recognition that they deserve. Let the world know that we were the pioneers. We don't want that's all we
Yeah.
want to be acknowledged for what we done. Now I can, when I say that what we have done, I mean God and we had done,
Yeah.
because one for God, I couldn't have done a thing. Let me put
Yeah,
that up
definitely.
front first of all, But there's things that league don't have now that I could give that league would change it overnight. God gave me the vision. He didn't
Yeah.
give it to them. See what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh wow. So why did you decide to shut down yours? We could have two professional women's league, or how did that work?
No, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked one of the things it wouldn't have worked because we would have been competing together, and no way we could have competed with the NBA. First of
Oh,
all, see what I'm saying?
yeah.
They had the NBA behind them. They was well. I mean, they had all of they had the money. First of all, then they had all the support from all the NBA, sponsors or TV or whatever to go behind them. See what I'm saying? So they
Uh-huh.
had everything.
They had
No,
everything.
nowhere in the world that we could have competed with them, and nowhere in the world that I wanted to compete with them. But the
Oh,
only thing, again, what I wanted for them to be acknowledged for what we've done and then give them more insight to make that league much better. See, that league it's the NBA have done a great job. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but the league could be better. I had wrote a letter to, I think, to Val just before she stepped down, the new commissioner. I said I can give you some things that'll increase your league overnight. I can tell you some things to do because God gave me the vision. Every piece that's supposed to be there. And it's like they missing some stuff. When my girls played, we averaged 100 plus points a game, both teams. It
Oh
didn't come
wow.
under 100. That's some people will come out the gym. They said this was like the shootout at the OK Corral. I mean, it was just like that up and down the floor. It was
Yeah.
exciting, you know. So they missing some stuff that I know that could help the game. And if they don't improve, not only that, if they don't improve what they have, because they got a lot of stuff coming against them now. You got a lot of other leagues that start up doing
Yeah.
spring, this kind of coming against them, like the spring football league, and you
Yes.
got volleyball, and you got soccer. So
Yeah. So did you decide to take in, well, first, how did you feel when you found out that David Stern created the WNBA? What was your initial reaction?
I was really, as a human, I was upset, first of all, because they had took what I had shared with them, and they left us out. Now, if they had took that and left us in there and said, you know, the Women's Basketball Association was the founder of this, and this is why now we have the WNBA. I'm great, but they didn't do that. They more or less said this was their ideal. They came up with this ideal, see, more or less. So and that wasn't right for me or not for the girls, because we had put 3 years in there, to lay that foundation for them, for them to be, it just, it made me sick in my stomach. But then I thought about it. Then God say, remember, this who ideal was this, and as I began to, you know, read my Bible more and spend time with the Lord, I understood I had done what God wanted me to do, but I could have done more and could have helped them out better if they would have just done it the right way. But how it is when money get involved in things, and greed takes place,
Yeah,
it takes a whole different style.
yeah. Um, you mentioned that you reached out to the new WNBA commissioner. Did she want to collaborate with you or
I never
invite?
got a response. I never got a response.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
never got a response.
hopefully you get that response because I really think that you could bring something to the table with the league. Also, there are a lot of people out there who are sitting on the vision that God gave them. What advice would you give someone who's sitting on a vision that God gave them?
I would tell those guys to step out in faith, regardless what anybody else say. If God has given you something to do, step out in faith, because God ain't gonna fail you. Only person that would fail you is yourself. If
Yes.
God said do it, do it.
Wow. Thank you so much for that advice, and thank you so much for joining Let's Talk Women in Basketball. Where can fans find you on social media, and also where can they purchase your book?
It's the new one we just released, the Shooting Star. It's at Amazon. They can get it off on Amazon. Right now. That's the only place I have it at. We have another book at Amazon called The Vision, but the one that's written off of the vision is called The Shooting Star.
Mhm.
That's an interview that I done with the 700 Club. That we think the Shooting Star is a great story because that's how God approached me, one night with this whole thing as I was driving home from work. And I asked God to give me some type of sign, Lord, that you really want me to do this. And now come a shooting star as I'm driving down the highway, like it was coming right into the windshield, and
Yeah.
it's just, hey, you know what?
Yes.
If you text me your email, I'll send you some other information,
Okay.
like where you can get a lot. I'll send you clips on the documentary film, all this stuff. I'll send it to you.
All right. Awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I do have one last question. If anyone
Okay.
could play you in a movie, who would you want to play you and why?
I'm sorry, say the question.
If anyone could play you in a movie, what actor would you want to play you and why?
That's a good one. The first thing, the first person would stick out in my mind would be Denzel.
Yeah.
Because I just like everything about Denzel, and I would say Denzel. And I say Denzel because it's just I have watched and listened at some of his speeches, and just how he come across. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other actors out there, but I'm not even aware of that would probably do just as great a job. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Denzel comes to mind. I'll put that way.
Well, you definitely have an amazing story to tell, and I look forward to hearing more. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Don't forget to text me your email, and then I'll send you a lot of other stuff.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Ned, so much, Mr. Mitchell, for joining my show. I read your book, The Vision. I'm still reading it, but it's a great story.
If
It's a
you
great
like the vision, you will love the shooting star.
Wow, I'm definitely gonna purchase it now that I know it's on Amazon. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have an amazing story to tell, and I just hope that the world get to hear it because it's awesome.
All
Yeah,
right, Joe. Thank
and
you for
hearing
your time. Thank you. God bless.
God bless you as well. Bye.
All right.